And that's my last key matchup to this game. The Patriots tight ends versus, and I have Jayron here, but I got a thought that I want to talk to y'all about too, but versus Jayron Kearse. Now you can say Jayron, you can say LVE, you can say Clark, all the linebackers, whatever. But we know Jayron is the tight end eraser. And Cowboys have been erasing tight ends for the most part. They've been really good this year against tight ends. They're top 10 in yards per reception by tight ends. They're 11th in yards per game. You might say, well, 11, Sky, that's not that great. Well, 37 yards. They're allowing 37 yards per game to tight ends. And they haven't allowed a tight end yet. But this is their biggest test. This I think is their biggest test. Not because individually these guys are Kelsey or whatnot. They've dealt with a high-end individual talent, from a skill standpoint with Waller. They've dealt with that, and we've seen them play well. But the problem is, in Hunter Henry and Gesicki, that's about as good as it's going to get for a 2 tight end package. It is going to be really hard to go around the league and find a 2 tight end package that has these type of guys. And now you might say, well, Kelsey and whoever because it's Kelsey, or Kittle and whoever because it's Kittle. Fair. But when it comes to that second tight end, I think Gesicki and Henry are really good. And last week they started to roll out Pharaoh Brown. Pharaoh Brown, 6'6", about 250, probably a more athletic guy, although Gesicki's super underrated. Athletic guy. He caught that pop pass from Mac Jones. Y'all remember that? McCorkle play action, I think it was, or just popped up through it to Pharaoh, and he took off for like 60 yards or whatever it was for the touchdown. So, that's something obviously you got to watch for. But I think the 12 personnel package, they like to do a lot of different things out of it. I personally welcome them trying to run out of it because things are more congested. However, they have found a little bit of success in this 13 personnel package. They've been able to run a little bit more. They've been doing a lot of tosses. They're getting their guys to the edge. So not only are like Jayron and these safeties going to have to do well against these tight ends in the passing game, they're going to have to maintain the edges, right? Contain the edges. Do not allow, Stevenson and Zeke to just run untouched for 10 yards. That's how they got a lot of their yards against the Jets. They were just untouched, whether it be a delay up the middle or whether it be tossed to the outside. If they go untouched, these guys are big, right? They're powerful. They play downhill. But if you have to make them get shifty, Stevenson can get a little shifty, more shiftier, but you kind of minimize his ability to maybe pop one. They haven't had a run over 20 yards all year. So, they're going to play a 10-yard within game. And when it comes to these tight ends, McCorkle loves to go to these tight ends. And I get it because their wide receivers aren't spectacular. They're not guys that are getting a bunch of separation. And then he's not hitting these wide receivers downfield. But Mac Jones still can deliver the ball, especially intermediate to these tight ends. So I think this is a huge matchup.